Welcome everybody to this week's the Good View Weekly Boost. We're happy to have you join us, and we are very excited today because it's actually the first day that feels like spring here in Massachusetts. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Right, guys?
Yeah.
It's wonderful out
Yes.
there.
So I am Joanne Woods Young, and I have my co-host, Dr. Mary Connors, with me today. She's back. And we have our guest is J.R. Fortin, and we're going to tell you a little bit about him and what he does. And we're also going to start off, as we always do, with our gratitude practice. And I have to say, for myself today, the gratitude is about the weather. I think the weather, for me, I'm very affected by it. I feel like when it's cloudy, we just had a nor'easter last week. On Thursday, I went to an event where it was torrential downpours. So today, the sun is shining, it's about 65 degrees, and it's beautiful, and I am grateful for that. What about you, Dr. Mary?
Well, speaking of that little nor'easter, I was stuck at Logan Airport and had to spend the night in Kansas City, the Burger King at the airport. And I'm grateful because my husband and I made a decision to go or not to go. And so I'm grateful for that 5-second decision where I said, look, we're packed, we're ready, we've got everything in place, let's just forge ahead. And so that meant saying yes to sleeping at the airport at Kansas City, Missouri.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay.
So that was kind of neat though. It was good.
Yeah, because I got your text that said you just got to the hotel, and I'm thinking, what does that mean? You just got to the hotel. So I was going to, we could talk about that. Yeah, that's great. Very good. And what about you, JR?
I'm extremely grateful for the real heroes, the veterans. I'm fortunate to get to work with two every day, Bobby C. and Sheldon, along with a family that embraces my ambitions, because it's definitely hard for the people on the outside of your projects dealing with you constantly going out of state to promote your stuff or traveling in general. And thankful for friends like my friend Dustin today, who drove me here because my wife's home with the 5 kids. So I've got a lot of things to be thankful for.
Excellent. That's wonderful. Very good. I didn't realize you have 5 children.
Yes.
Wow. So what are their ages?
You name it.
What's the youngest to the oldest?
The youngest is 5 months.
Wow.
The oldest is 10.
Wow.
Wow. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot of work right there too. Mm-hmm. And is your wife able to stay home with them? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Stay at home mom.
That's nice. That's a full-time,
Yes.
double-time job.
She doesn't
for
sleep.
Sure. Yeah. No, 5 months. That's a lot. And then have a 10-year-old that's very active, I'm sure, in different activities and everything.
Cheering galore.
Yeah.
Cheers every day. Her schedule's busier than mine in
Right.
my life. I think 4 out of the 5 days a week, she's got something after school.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about what you do, JR. So you are an author, and there's a story behind how you became an author, or how you started writing, or what it means to you. Do you want to share with the audience what it means to you, or how you began this journey of writing and what you're writing about? And you can share some of your books with us as well.
So when I was in grade school, in the 4th grade, I wrote a little comedy bit, The Mighty Snorter, and I kept progressing with that, and I'd bring it over to the nursing home that my grandmother was at and go over, and I promised her that I would follow through with my dream of publishing it in the future. And as the years went by, when she passed, I really wanted to make sure that happened, so I followed through and I got it published. But I progressed the story through the year. As 2 years went by, I would update it to my age level so that it would make sense to people around me to read it or know the story.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so it started when you were in the 4th grade.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a grade school story that
Okay.
people thought was hilarious because it was just about a superhero whose ability was to super sneeze.
Just super sneeze?
Yes. Yeah.
That's funny. That's cute. Okay, so that became sort of what you based the books around.
Yep. So I released my first book in 2012 through Exilibris, and the second one was released shortly after that. And the next 2 I released through Outskirts Press, which I like the way they are a lot better. They're a lot quicker and progressive at fixing things. If you got stuff you want edited or taken care of, the time manner's better.
Huh. So this is the first book?
Yep.
Can we show the audience?
Yeah.
The Mighty Snorter.
Nice. And what year? That was 2012. You had
Yep.
that done?
Okay. Do you want to hold it for me?
So your grandmother never got to see your book actually published?
No.
But she knew that you were.
She knew I was
yeah.
going to do it.
Oh,
Yep.
really nice.
And then, not that you'll be able to read it from there, but
The glasses are
I'll
ready.
stay.
Now, who did the animation? Did you have someone else do it, or
Yeah.
did you do that as well?
No, the story behind that is I lived in an apartment complex where it was like a big L, and I was outside talking to a neighbor about how the only thing that was preventing me from getting my stuff published was the fact that I didn't have an artist, and I have no artistic capabilities whatsoever.
Okay.
So she was talking about her husband. Her husband can draw like anything to perfection, and she said that he might be interested in doing it, and we sat outside one day. I was having a barbecue, and he just started drawing one character, and then I'd ask him to draw another one. He did it, and he just has drawn for me ever since.
Wow.
This is
so-
Nathan Ray.
Yep, Nathan Ray.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's
Nice.
really cool.
It
It's a
is.
cool,
That's awesome.
all the whole shape of the body, the superhero.
Really cool.
Yeah.
That's what I call divine. Definitely, JR. If you're just talking about something to a neighbor one day, and then she says, "Oh, I have someone that can help you," and then you get a result like that, I call that divine. So
Yep.
that's really awesome.
One of the funny things that people get with him is that he's actually a truck driver now, and what he'll do at his rest stops is he'll lay out his clipboard and all of his art stuff, and he will draw on top of the big steering wheel of the big rig, and then he'll
Wow.
post like pictures of it on Facebook because that's his table. That's what he has for tools to
Aw,
use.
Very
so.
cool. So he's utilizing his gifts still, even though he's not maybe doing it as a job. He's still doing it. So that's great. So tell us, you are from Lewiston, Maine, right?
Yep.
Home of Bates College. Yeah, I know a few people that went to Bates. How do you like it there?
I love it.
Have
I
you
love
always
Maine.
lived there?
Yes, I grew up in Maine, and it's awesome because a lot of people there are supportive of small businesses. So like Bull Moose, Zimmy Comics, those two stores. Like I asked one time, and my book was in both their stores because
Awesome.
that's like the mentality. Like you help your neighbor.
Yep. Very nice.
So Maine is very friendly in that end, and I also was fortunate in the way that right after the book was released, somebody got an article into the Sun Journal for me, which was highly appreciated.
Nice.
So
Very good. Awesome. And how do you promote your book? I mean, how do you get it sold? How do you?
I do
After the first book, how many other books do you have?
3. I'm got book 5 coming out in a couple months.
Okay.
But I use Facebook to promote it mostly. YouTube. I've been on 7 radio shows.
Good.
One other TV show. One of the big radio shows I was on was Artist First Radio. Another show that I was on was Topic Time with Harrison Blake Young. And that went really well. I'm the 3rd time most viewed, and I think I was the first person ever to hit 1,000 views on that specific
Wow.
show.
Awesome. That's great.
So all your stories, your other books, are they
Continuous.
continuous?
Yeah,
Do you want to show
Okay.
us the books?
because it's a 10-book series. That's the first one. I actually didn't bring the other 3.
Oh, okay.
But what I did bring was this, which is the actual movie script,
Oh,
which I'm working on slowly, networking with people to make this happen.
great.
And this is the WGA, like the script is registered with the WGA, so that it's copyrighted and I'm good
What's
to
the
go.
WGA?
It's the Writers Guild of America. If you write a
Oh.
movie script, this is anybody would tell you before you submit any movie scripts anywhere, like to anybody, to make sure you register it with the WGA so nobody can take your material.
So it's like a copyright.
Yeah, it's like another form of copyright. Even though the books are copyrighted, you want to copyright the movie script as well because they consider it a whole different ball game.
Do you have to get an attorney involved for that?
For this, no, because the WGA has attorneys that work for them.
Got it. That's good.
Okay, that's good. Very good. So let me ask you this, because I know as an entrepreneur, it takes a lot to get yourself out there and do different things, such as a movie script, books. How committed are you to what you really want to do? First tell us, what is your ultimate dream? What does that look like?
For this 3 movies to set up my kids for success for their future.
Nice. That's a goal I think that you could have a very strong commitment around, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. And how would you say, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your level of commitment to making this happen?
11.
Yeah, I feel that about you too. I feel like you have a very strong commitment to this, and you know, it takes patience, would you say?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I feel like there's two types of people. I feel like there's almost not like a medium anymore. You either have someone who's like going all out, or someone who's at the point where they're just not, where it's like a hit or miss. Like you got people who are going to do anything and everything to make something happen, and people are just at the point where they're not going to even try.
Right.
And you never want to get to that point. You always want to try to better yourself and work on new stuff.
And what do you do to keep your mindset positive around that, to keep yourself moving forward and committed? What kind of skills do you have in that area? Because it can be tough sometimes.
For me, the biggest thing, all I really have to do is look at my kids and be like, I want a better life for you no matter what. So that's like your motivation. I think that's the same with anyone who really has kids, even in a regular job. You just keep wanting to move up. Like I'm 27 years old and I'm an assistant store manager for a Walmart. So you just have to stay motivated all the time and know what you want. Like I know this is something I want. So am I tired some nights? Yeah, but I'm still going to stay up until 1. If I see a positive outcome happening from networking with people, then I'm going to stay up. I'm going to keep going until that person either gets offline or something happens, because I want to make it happen.
Right. So what kind of things do you do to network and to get yourself out there? What are your strategies for that?
I'll talk to like some directors or some actors from, like, say, the New England Filmmakers Group, or stuff like that. Like I have Bill McLean I talk to a lot on Facebook. Harrison, I ask Harrison for advice sometimes on like props, because that's one big thing that I don't know much about, is getting the props to do a movie and stuff like that. So you got to reach out to people and not be afraid to ask questions, because that's what will really slow you down. If you have a question that you could have asked 3 or 4 months ago and you hesitated because you didn't want to feel stupid. My dad has a saying, he said since the beginning of the time, that there is no stupid, the only stupid question is the question that goes unasked.
That's right. That's right. I think Mary and I have a book to recommend to you too. The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins.
Did you bring it in?
No, I did not bring it in, but you know, I wish I did.
I did. It's over there
Oh,
on
you
the
have
chair.
it? Do you want to grab it or ask?
I think we should show it.
Yeah,
for a second.
definitely.
Dustin, would you mind reading over?
It sounds like you already kind of
Thank you.
possess this type of motivation, but this book, Mary, do you want to talk about it?
It's the 5-second rule, and Joanne told me about it. And I read it, half of it this weekend, and I highly recommend this book to everybody. It's
Awesome.
just great. It's written by a woman named Mel Robbins, and you can go on YouTube or Google her. She's done TED Talks, and you can hear about the principle behind the 5-second rule. And it's exactly what you just said. I mean, so many times we're sabotaging ourselves, we're holding ourselves back, and we're not being focused. And she gives you a tool in here to use to really make some changes in your life. And the stories in there, the individual stories, didn't you find them
amazing.
fascinating, Joanne?
Absolutely. Amazing. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
so do you feel it's been helping you?
Absolutely. Now, for me, my thing is, you say that about a question. I have had a struggle, like asking anybody for a connection or for help. So to get a connection in speaking, sometimes you have to know somebody who knows somebody, or just get a name. But I would be afraid to do that. Oh, I don't want to, you know. But now, since I've read the 5-second rule, I will type out an email to somebody, and then I'll say 5, 4, 3, send it. And I've been getting a lot of feedback from people who will easily give you something that you asked them for, but I always had that fear of it. So because of the 5-second rule, I'm able to get a lot of connections now that, you know, I would give a connection to anybody, so why wouldn't someone give it to me? And it's been life-changing just doing that 5-second rule and seeing that. And so for you, JR, it sounds like you already have it, but maybe you could even take that book and run a little bit further with it, just seeing how simple. There might be other things that you're holding back on, or people you are holding back on contacting.
I think it's funny how you mentioned the email thing, because I will look at an email for like 10 minutes before I hit send.
Yeah.
I'm the same way on that.
That's good. 10's not bad. I would look at it for days, or I'd hide it. So you're doing pretty good with 10 minutes.
We're all
But then that'd be
different
like-
with where our hang-ups
Exactly.
are. You know?
Exactly. Everyone has a different way of sabotaging themselves, or a different understanding of what's going on. So, yeah, so very interesting.
What
So-
was the mention of the veterans in the beginning?
Those are 2 veterans that I work with at 2046, the Augusta Walmart. That's where I work for my regular job. At Sheldon and Bobby C, and they both did tours. so I'm happy that they're back safe. I'm also happy that my cousin Nick is back safe because he did a few tours and he's finally back with his family. So,
Nice.
And do
Very
you
nice.
find also that the veterans give you input on maybe some of the things you do, or give you courage, or you guys talk about it a little bit?
I find that they're some of the most motivated people that you'll ever meet are veterans all
Yeah.
the time. And like if
Right.
anyone can put a positive to a negative, it's going to be a veteran because they've seen the worst. So
Yeah.
That's right. Great. Anything else you'd like to add around what you do, or is there anybody that you would like to shout out to, or anything like that?
yes, I definitely want to shout out to Nathan Ray because with this, I couldn't have done this without him. Special shout out to Dustin, who was my transportation to get here today. And my parents for all their support, and a couple others.
We'll also give some information where people can find you and connect with you, because you know there is a great audience out there for what you're doing, and I think you just need to find the right audience, right? So that's a big part of it, and getting it to that right connection. Do you ever go to the Comic Cons or any of those kind of things?
I've been to six
Nice.
events. When you asked to how I network and stuff, that's another big one. Is I will go booth to booth after the events, which almost everybody does this. Like you'll go. Some people do it in the morning, like an hour before the event starts, and other people do it an hour after, where you just go around taking everybody's business card you can find. And
That's
then you talk to them that day, you talk to them after. Sometimes you'll just go and you'll have like a pizza with them and talk and bounce off ideas off of each other. But yeah,
That's good.
it's definitely.
Yeah. You seem like a really nice person, and I want your
Thank
dreams.
you.
I want your dreams to come true for you.
Thank
So
you.
keep on moving forward, and I think you're going to be successful.
Thank you.
Do you have any practices? That's what I'm wondering. Like, so, do you ever have a vision of yourself out there, seeing yourself as this person who's got the movie, walking down the red carpet,
like-
or however that looks to you? Do you hold that vision for yourself?
I'm like one of those crazy people that has like a 5-year plan.
Okay.
Like a detailed out 5-year plan as to where I want to be. Like I want to have my movie script. I want to start filming in like 2021. And the reason for that is because I don't want it to be filmed halfway through a copyright and then have the copyright expire and then have to deal with that. I want to start it with a fresh like 5 years to go, so if anything comes up, it can be dealt with without any like headaches. But yeah, I definitely have.
Just remember, you got your start here.
Yeah.
This is one of the
Yeah.
places, okay? All right?
That's right. That's right.
I definitely have a vision of where I want to be. Like I said, the 3 movies is the big thing, and then I'll probably start doing other projects aside from that. But after that, it'll probably be more time with the family.
Yeah, that's good. One more thing that comes to mind that I just want to mention is, you know, my brother-in-law has been an extra in a lot of films. Is that something that you could ever consider doing, or is that something that would be in alignment with you wanting to get to the next place, or no?
Yep, like definitely, because the big thing with that is the networking for the movies. Like a lot of those people, you're an extra in their project, and they'll be an extra in your project, or they'll help you out with your project. Because some of the people being extras in projects are just doing it because they're there, but they're editors, they're people who know their way around a camera. There are a lot of super intelligent people being extras. It's not just like they only are extras in the movies. Most of the time, they have a lot of film knowledge if you sit down and talk with them. And I feel like everybody has a story. So if you sit down with with pretty much anybody, they can give you a background story, and more than likely, they've done more than what you've anticipated by them just being an extra.
I have a question. Did you do a lot of writing in school? Was that like your forte?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to do anything that was writing. Same within college, I wanted to do anything that was in writing. I got my associate's degree in legal studies, probably because it was mostly all writing.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
And when it comes to that, it's like competitive writing because you're basically arguing something for something. So I like doing that.
And then do you find when you write, do you like to script better, or do you like to go on the computer and put it into, you know, Word or Pages or
No,
something?
I'm old school on that. I got a pencil, a notebook, and I write it once, and then I write it again in pencil, and then I type it, and then I type it again because it's still not right. I go through it like 4 or 5 times before I have what I want.
That's good. Whatever works for you. Everyone has their creative process.
Yeah.
Excellent. Do you want to hold up your book cover again, too?
Yeah.
And then we will let the audience know where they can find you. If you want to say the name of your Facebook page and also your IMBD and your website when it's ready. I know it's under maintenance, but when?
So my Facebook page is www.facebook.com/MightySnorter. You can check out my IMBD page. It's J.R. Fortin. And my website is www.mightysnorter.com. And you can get my books anywhere online. It's distributed everywhere. If you're in Maine, you can get it at Bull Moose, Zimmy's, most of the local shops. And I also want to do a special shout out to Allison C. Hall from A Walk with the Devil, and Sean Riley from Fighting Bella. 2 projects that I'm just supporting currently.
Awesome. Very good. And again, anything else that you want to add today, JR, you're more than welcome to say before we end the show. If there's anything else you'd like to say.
I would like to thank Virginia as well for being understanding, because I have an uncle that took sick recently, so they were really understanding with me wanting to stay closer to home, and I'm thankful for you guys for having me on this show so that I got the word out in some way this week, because I took vacation to do that. So I really appreciate you guys having me on the show.
Oh, we're glad you could be here. Thank you. And again, I wish you the very best and all your dreams coming true. And I believe that that is possible. So keep moving forward.
Do you want to mention Toastmasters?
Yeah, of course. Go ahead, Mary.
We invite you to our Toastmasters meeting tomorrow night at the 16 Belmont Street at the Stonehill College building on 16 Belmont Street. And it's open to the public. It meets 7:15 to 9 o'clock p.m. One of our members is in the district contest coming up, and we're very excited in our club because we really have some great, successful, uprising stars in our club, and we'd love you to come and see a meeting.
And if you come, here's the thing, every single day I'm talking to people all day about public speaking, just saying, wherever I am, if I say I'm a speaker, everyone says, I can't believe you can do that. I'm so scared to public speak. I'm terrified. The best and easiest way to get over that fear is to join Toastmasters and practice, practice, practice. The more you face the fear, the more you practice, the easier it is to get over that fear. So join us for that reason. You don't have to speak until you're ready. Come and see a meeting. Even I think just being in the room and seeing people speak, you start to get more comfortable with it. So we encourage you to come and join us, get over your fear, and we'd love to have you. And don't forget the 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. Awesome book. I think it's very life-changing. So if you're stuck in a rut or you just want to see a simpler way to handle things, great book.
Go for it.
Thank you for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you again soon next week. Thank you again, J.R. Fortin. You've been a wonderful guest today, and we're grateful that you were here.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
Thanks.
Peace out.